Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I run the blog lifefromtheviolasection.com where I share my favorite practice tips, general advice, and tech for musicians. Today I'm talking about some ways that you can continue practicing and getting better at your instrument over the summer if you're a college musician. I always thought it was such a weird, unique transition from busy semester at school to just going home for the summer. And everyone spends their summers differently, but I'm going to give a few options and ways that you can keep your progress going over the summer if that's something that you're interested in. And if you want to take a break over the summer, do that too. I just wanted to share some ways that you can keep that up if that's what you want to do this summer. I often felt like over the summer I was kind of just on my own because before I went to college, I always had music lessons over the summer. I just continued doing weekly viola lessons, piano lessons, all of that every single summer. So there was usually never a time of year, except like maybe around the holidays, where I wasn't getting weekly lessons. And college was like the first time that I was ever kind of on my own, left to my own devices for a couple of months. So it was very scary, actually, just trying to practice and figure out what I needed to do to get better. And it was good practice for like what I have to do now that I'm out of school and like on my own for real. It was like some good practice, but it was scary and I really could have used some tips on ways to kind of sustain myself. And these are just things that I've learned myself. So kind of the obvious answer if you're a classical musician, or maybe the thing that is gonna be most like a college semester, it would be to go to a music festival for the summer. Since this video is coming out at the end of May, we're a little bit past the music festival application and audition season, but in the future that's always an option. So music festivals are usually like 2 weeks to a month or 2 months long. Every music festival is a little bit different. There's usually housing, usually either dorms or hotels, cabins. It depends on the location of the music festival, the environment, what type of vibe they're going for too. So there's housing, there's food provided, usually in like, if it's on a college campus, then like in a dining hall. And basically during the music festival you get private lessons. Usually it's like chamber music or orchestra based, or it's a mix of both. So you either get chamber coaching or you have a lot of orchestra rehearsals, or maybe you have both depending on what you're going to the festival for. And they're usually master classes, you meet new people, you can collaborate, make new connections, all of the kinds of things that we do during the semester in music school. So music festivals are definitely like the most similar to what you experience during the school year. So if you're looking to keep that experience going over the summer, that's probably the best option for you. But of course, music festivals are expensive. There are scholarships for most music festivals, and sometimes the college that you might attend will offer scholarships for music festivals. I think that's a thing that some schools do, but like not everywhere does that. It's just a thing that you could possibly look into. So I know music festivals are not for everyone because some of us want to relax over the summer. Some of us can't afford it. Some of us need to take a job over the summer to pay for our living expenses during the school year, to pay for our tuition, all of these different things. So I know it's not realistic for absolutely everyone, but it is the most similar to what you experience at school. During the summer, if you are close to your campus and your teacher is still nearby, you can always ask them if you can set up a lesson or two or a couple here or there over the summer. Of course, like offer to pay them. Musicians deserve to be paid for their time, and you can see if you can set something up with them if you'd like to continue that over the summer. But lots of teachers or professors will take vacations over the summer, or they'll teach at other music festivals. They're probably either busy or they're trying to relax, so like don't assume that you can just get lessons with your teacher over the summer, but you can inquire about it if that's something that you're interested in and can realistically do. Something you can do to kind of spark inspiration in yourself is to go to or watch master classes, even if they're for other instruments. A lot of times at master classes, the people who perform will learn kind of not basic things, but other ways to think about music. And that can apply to any instrument. And you can learn so much from another instrumental teacher. There are different ways of thinking about music, different ways of phrasing things, different ways of just playing an instrument in general. So you can learn so much from masterclasses. If there aren't any happening in your area, or if you don't want to go, there are so many masterclasses posted online on YouTube. You can look up masterclass for whatever piece you're working on, or you can look up whatever instrument you play, masterclass like viola masterclass, violin masterclass, oboe masterclass, anything like that. You can find so much, or you can look up specific musicians like Yo-Yo Ma masterclass or Kim Kashikashian masterclass. You can look up any of those things and you will find so many really, really helpful resources. So you could do one weekly instead of going to a lesson, and you can still learn so much, and it's all just based on what you want to do. Another awesome thing you can do just by yourself when you've got some extra time over the summer is to look up recordings of the music that you're working on. Listen to as many different recordings as you can. See what different people do differently. See if there are any different notes anywhere, or if one edition of the score is different from what you're playing off of. Do some score study. You can learn so much that way, and then you're going to be an expert in that piece, and by the time you get back to school and work on the music with your teacher, you are going to be a total expert in that piece of music and blow your teacher away. If you're looking to go to grad school in the next couple of years, summer is a time where you could potentially have some trial lessons with teachers you might want to study with. So if you're going to an area, you might be able to set up a lesson with a teacher, or if you tour school, you can contact the teacher, see if they're in town, and can schedule a trial lesson with you. While we have this extra free time, it's great to get opinions of other people outside of your regular teacher, because like I said earlier with masterclasses, everyone has a different way of teaching music, experiencing music, and interpreting music. So talking with other people is a great way to expand your own mind and come up with your own opinions on how to play music, how to practice music, how to play your instrument. All of these different things, hearing other opinions will help you create your own and really help you be a unique musician of your own. Also, one thing to do, just kind of slightly related tip, if you're really interested in studying with a specific teacher for grad school, you can look up and see if they teach at any music festivals. I know this tip is a little bit late since it's the end of May and people have probably already decided where they're going to music festivals, and that's totally over. But for the future, you can look up where the teacher you're interested in teaches over the summer. If they teach at a music festival, apply to that music festival, and if you get in, you can work with them, see if you actually mesh together very well, and then you've got a personal connection with that teacher, and your grad school audition at that specific school might feel easier, might go a bit better, and having a personal connection with that teacher just makes you all the more, I need the word hireable, but for school, acceptable. It might make them more likely to accept you at the school. There we go. Another thing you can do is try to get lessons with your old private teacher or with a different teacher in the area. Of course, like I said, it's great to gain opinions of someone else, but it's also nice to go back to someone and they can see how you've changed and developed and help you think of just different perspectives again. And of course, just playing for someone is always good. It's always helpful practice to just play for someone. Even if they don't have many comments to give you, even though they totally might, it's still helpful to just play for people and stay kind of in that music world so that it doesn't feel like you're living in two separate realities, because it's kind of weird. A nice little kind of fun way to stay accountable over the summer is to buddy up with one of your musician friends. So you can give each other goals and then meet over Zoom or in person depending on your locations and play for each other. Give each other comments, kind of like a one-on-one lesson or studio class kind of thing. Give each other comments, share practice tips and advice. It's a great way to just hold yourself accountable by buddying up with someone. And especially if you're working on the same piece, or kind of if you're the same instrument, even if you play different instruments, or if someone is an instrumentalist and the other is a vocalist, you can still learn so much from each other, just like I said with watching other masterclasses too. It also helps you just keep in touch with your college friends too, because it's so weird going from all of your new friends at school to moving back home and not seeing them for 3 months. It's just so weird, but it's also weird going to college and not seeing your old friends for months at a time. It's just such a weird period of adjustments in general. And my last tip to hold yourself accountable and to continue learning and getting better at your instrument over the summer is to teach young students. So whether you move back home or you stay in your college town over the summer, there are almost always students who want to learn an instrument or get better at an instrument over the summer. Start looking for students and see if you can teach at least one student over the summer. You can learn so much about your instrument, so much about your understanding and interpretation of music, and just so much about music itself by teaching someone else. Really, you learn by teaching. It's so true. I've found so many new ways to describe what I do, and so many things that I do on the violin and viola make so much more sense to me now that I've had to explain them and teach them to other people who have never heard of or thought of these things before. So teaching really gives you a deep understanding of what you're doing. So I highly recommend trying to teach someone over the summer because you're gonna get such a different perspective. You also might gain some more respect for your own teachers just because, like, see how difficult it can be sometimes. So if you are a college music student, what have you done over the summers, or what do you plan to do this summer to kind of stay connected and stay inspired in the music world? Or are you just relaxing and chilling for the summer? Those are two totally valid options. They're different, but they're both valid. You probably worked so hard during the semester. You deserve some time off, deserve to go on a vacation or take a break in some sort of way. So I totally understand if you don't want to be super productive over the summer after 2 semesters of working super hard. I know that being a musician in college takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of hours, not a ton of sleep. So I would catch up on a lot of sleep over any break that I got over my college years. So I would love to know what your plans are for the summer as a student, whether that's working super hard, working a little bit, or like doing nothing at all. I would really love to hear in the comments. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. I post new musical videos every Sunday at noon Eastern Time. Thanks for watching.